What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski and I am back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a breakdown of the brand new raid boss Clash Buster Core, which is going to be heading to Extra Island on the global version of One Piece Treasure Cruise very soon. It is the next raid boss, the brand newest raid boss that we're going to be getting, and it's actually kind of a little bit different from previous raid bosses that we had, where instead they are going to give us like 6 different units in one single raid. We'll go through every single unit and what you need to actually beat this dungeon in today's video. But before we get into today's video, guys, if you guys do go on to enjoy it, make sure to smack the like button down below, as it's always greatly appreciated. But without further ado, guys, let's get straight into today's video. So the first unit that we're going to be breaking down is Shu. So Shu here is a 3-star unit, and that is the thing about this dungeon, is that we have 6 new units with 3 3-star units and 3 4-star units, and they do not evolve whatsoever. They are all independent units. So the first one here is Shu. Now Shu, as I said, is a 3-star unit, and he is a fighter free spirit character. His stats are pretty okay, you know, for a 3-star unit, to be honest, and he has 12 cost and 2 socket spots. His captain effect will reduce damage received by 20%, which is kind of a bad captain effect. Any special, which starts at 20 and maxes at 8 turns, will reduce any damage received above 3000 HP by 80% for 1 turn. This is actually a pretty decent special, to be honest. You know, all of these specials, kind of like Giola and Inazuma, where above a certain amount, they'll then reduce it by percentage. So overall, this unit is actually pretty decent. I wouldn't say he's like a really good unit or anything. I wouldn't probably use him that much, but he's just got a really nice special. You wouldn't really use it that much, but still, it's really good to note. The next unit we're going to have a look at is Very Good, who is a 3-star unit as well, and is a quick free spirit striker type character with some pretty awesome stats there for a 3-star unit. You know, nearly 2000 health is insane, 700 attack, you know, 100 recovery, and 2 sockets and a cost of 12. And he has a captain effect which boosts the attack of free spirit characters by 2 times. So this is actually pretty okay, you know, for a free-to-play free spirit captain. This guy's actually not too bad. You know, the other free spirit captains that we currently have are like Calgara and the story mode Int Frankie that you get given. So this guy, he just adds that collection. You could then, you know, choose different attributes to whatever situation you need for a free spirit team. But overall, you probably wouldn't want to be using him if you have Int Vankov or Sabo as a captain in your character box. Now, his special, though, which starts at 20 turns and maxes at 11 turns, will randomly change Tandem Recovery, Empty Block, and Bomb Orbs, and it will change all of those orbs into either Strength, Dex, Quick Sight, or Int. And then after that, you can then switch your orbs 3 times. So this guy actually has a lot of utility. There would be, you know, some instances where he'd be good. However, this guy has a very similar special to an upcoming raid boss that we don't have in Global just yet. But it kind of is a whole lot better than what this guy actually is. So to be honest, this guy isn't really that good. He's going to be very redundant once we get that certain raid boss that I'm talking about. I'm not really going to say it or spoil it for you guys. But there is an upcoming raid boss that has very good orb manipulation. And yeah, he's pretty much does very similar things to what Very Good does here, but a whole lot better. So now let's move on to the 3rd unit in this brand new batch. So the next unit we're going to have a look at is Strawberry Navy HQ Vice Admiral. So this guy is also a 3-star unit and is a cerebral slasher type character and a Psi unit as well. And as you can see, this is a weird unit because it's a 3-star unit that maxes out at 99 turns, which is quite crazy. I'm not too sure, you know, why they've decided to do this, but nonetheless, you know, he's still a pretty nice unit. He has 16 cost and 2 socket spots. Now his captain effect will boost the attack and HP of cerebral characters by 1.5. You know, this captain effect isn't really that good. You know, that multiplier isn't that high, you know, 1.5. If it was 2 times, then this guy would actually be amazing. But, you know, that would probably be a little bit OP. But yeah, so overall, you know, this character as a captain isn't really that good. But his special, which starts at 27 turns, maxes at 17, will deal several times this character's attack and side damage to one enemy. Now, that several times means that the lower your HP is, the higher damage output you actually get. And at 1 HP, it's like 125 times his attack. But then, even though that sounds great in theory, his attack stat isn't that high. So overall, you're not going to be getting that much damage output from this guy anyway. But now that we've broken down the first of the 3-star units, now let's move on to the more powerful 4-star units of this brand new batch. So for the first 4-star unit, we have Onigumo Navy HQ Vice Admiral. So this guy here is a 4-star unit. As I said, he is a Dex/Driven type character, and those stats at level 99, they just show they're pretty decent stats. You know, 2,000 health, a little over 1,000 attack, and 318 recovery. Very, very nice. And he has a cost of 20 and 3 socket spots, which is awesome. So also being a cost of 20 means he can be used in a Sengoku team, as well as the other 4-star units that we'll go through later on in the video. So his captain effect will boost the attack of slasher characters by 2 times and reduce damage received from quick enemies by 20%. Overall, not a very, very good captain effect, as you do have access to units like Mihawk or Doflamingo, who are just immensely better than a captain that Onigumo can provide. So his special, though, which starts at 25 turns and maxes at 15 turns, will cut the current HP of each enemy by 10% and then change Psi and Int Orbs into Dex. So not only are you getting that really nice 10% health cut, you're also getting an amazing orb manipulation for Dex teams, you know, changing the yellow and purple orbs into green. So overall, this guy's special is very, very good. It's just the fact that his counter effect isn't really that much useful at all. It's not useful at all. So overall, this guy is actually not too bad. But now let's move on to the second last unit, which is Dalmatian. So Dalmatian is the 4-star unit who is a strength fighter powerhouse type character. At level 99, he's got some pretty good stats there. You know, 2,171 health, nearly 1,300 attack, and 189 recovery. So very solid stats right there. And he has 3 socket spots and a cost of 20, very similar to the other 4-star units of this batch. And his captain effect will reduce all cooldowns of all specials by 2 turns at the start of the fight, and then boost attack of strength characters by 2. So to be honest, you know, there aren't really that many good strength captains in the game. You know, you got like Monster Chopper, Blackbeard, etc. But, you know, this guy's actually not too bad for speed running things. You know, you reduce cooldowns of specials by 2 turns, so that isn't too bad. The multiplier for strength characters attack isn't really that high. Again, you know, 2 times isn't that great. He doesn't give a HP boost. If he gave like 2 times strength, 2 times HP and attack to strength units, and then also to reduce the cooldowns, he'd be absolutely broken. But you know, he only boosts the attack by 2 times. So overall, his captain effect is kind of average. You know, it's not amazing, but it is still, you know, kind of useful here and there. And his special, which starts at 23 turns and maxes at 13, will deal 15 times his attack in strength damage to a single enemy, and then boost the attack against delayed enemies by 1.3 times for 2 turns. So this is another kind of conditional attack booster, where if you apply a certain condition, you get an attack boost that can stack on top of type boosting and class boosting and all of that type of stuff. So this guy's actually pretty good. He can be used in some situations to give your team a hell of a lot more damage output. 1.3 times boost is very, very nice. So overall, this unit is kind of okay. I wouldn't say he's the best of the batch, but he's still a very, very solid unit overall. Now let's go and have a look at the actual final boss of this dungeon, of this brand new raid boss, being Momonga, the Navy HQ Vice Admiral. He is a 4-star unit and is a Psi Cerebral Slasher type character. Now this guy also has 20 cost and 3 socket spots as well. At max level 99, you can see his stats there, very nice as well. 2,600 health, you know, pretty much 1111 attack, you know, across the board, and then a recovery of 163. So very nice stats. And his captain effect will simply just boost the attack of cerebral characters by 2.5. So this guy automatically being a 2.5 lead is just amazing. You know, cerebral characters are getting a hell of a lot of a boost from this Buster Call raid boss. So very nice to see that we're getting, you know, some support for the cerebral characters, as well as his special, which also does support cerebral characters. Starts at 25 turns and maxes at 15, will deal 15 times his attack inside damage to a single enemy, and then boost attack of cerebral characters by 1.75 times for a single turn. That is crazy. You know, anything like that, anything that boosts a type or a class by 1.75 is crazy, crazy good. So it's amazing to see that we're getting much more support for the cerebral class, being Momonga himself. And not only that, this guy is very, very well used in tandem with Sengoku. Not only is he a Psi character like Sengoku, he has under 20 cost, which means he gets a boost from Sengoku. But Sengoku himself is also a cerebral character, so, you know, you can use Momonga's special to boost Sengoku's attack as well. So you can sort of run a cerebral team with a Sengoku lead, and it's just really, really strong with Momonga on that side. You know, just a 1.75 for 1 turn is just really, 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 really good. I just cannot stress that enough. This guy is definitely a guy you want to try and max out. 110%. Great unit overall. The best unit of this batch. So before we break down the dungeon itself, let's go ahead and have a look at what difficulties are available for this actual raid boss. So it will come in Expert, which is the 30 stamina version, and Master, which is the 40 stamina version. And in this video, like we do, we're going to break down the highest difficulty, which is the Master rank. And basically with the Expert rank, it's everything that you'd see in the Master. However, it is just dumbed down, so to speak, where everything has lower HP, lower attack, etc. But now let's move on to the stages. So stage 1, basically we'll just have a bunch of Marines with different colors, pretty simple, and then you have a bunch of turtles for stage 2. So all of these turtles are different attributes, and because all of the units in this bunch are all different attributes, it's nice that we're getting all different types of colored turtles so that we can level up different characters reasonably easily. So that's pretty cool for the first 2 stages. Nothing really too amazing to really note about. These turtles in particular do have 5 HP, I believe, so you cannot really stall too much on these turtles, maximum up to 10 turns or something like that, or 12 turns on this stage. You can stall, but obviously you don't want to take too much damage from these turtles because earlier on or later on in the actual dungeon itself, these units will start doing a lot of damage to you. For stage 3 of this brand new raid boss, we have Shu. Now, Shu here is surrounded by a bunch of Marines as well, and Shu himself has 360,000 health and an attack power of 2,888, and he'll attack you every single turn with a 1-turn cooldown. Now, he does do a preemptive attack, which will reduce the attack of slasher characters by 0.3 times, so they're only going to be getting 30% of their regular attack damage, and that's going to be happening for 5 turns. So Slashers are going to find it very, very difficult to actually break through this room because of just how Shu works and reducing their damage by a hell of a lot. And also, when Shu falls below 20% HP, he'll resummon all the surrounding Marines, which will make this dungeon even harder to beat if he just keeps resummoning Marines over and over again. So you definitely want to focus on Shu, making sure you don't make him fall under 20% HP. Moving on to stage 4 here, we have Very Good. Now, Very Good has a health of 592,000 and an attack power of 10,512, and he'll attack you every 4 turns. So, even though he will attack you every 4 turns, he's an absolute tank, you know, nearly 600,000 health and an attack power of 10,000. You definitely do not want to take an attack from this guy. Now, he does have a preemptive attack, which will shuffle all of your orbs on your team to either block or bomb orbs. So, it's going to make clearing this first room a little bit difficult. However, it does make it a little bit easier knowing that these Marines only have 5 HP. They have a little bit of a higher defense, so usually if they have low HP, they'll have a high defense or vice versa. And basically what will happen is that all of these Marines that surround him, when they get a chance to attack you, they will lock a unit on your team or units on your team that they are weak to attribute-wise. So if the red guy gets a chance to attack you, he'll lock all the blue units on your team. So you have to be careful that you're taking out the right units and you can stall correctly in order to actually get through this stage. It can be very difficult, and make sure that you are doing it in a timely manner. Otherwise, Very Good will have a chance to attack you, and you're going to be taking 10,000 damage. So you definitely do not want that to happen. Once you complete stage 4 and move on to stage 5, we encounter Strawberry. Now, Strawberry has 490,000 health and an attack power of 6,702. He'll attack you every 3 turns on a 3-turn cooldown, and then basically what he'll do after the first attack, he'll lock 2 random units on your team for 2 turns. That's going to be a little bit annoying to try and take him down, especially when he is, again, surrounded by more Marines. Makes it very, very difficult. Now, if Strawberry's HP falls below 20%, he will do 10,000 damage to you, so you have to be careful. Again, very similar to the previous units, to try and not get him under 20% health, because, you're going to be taking a hell of a lot of damage from this guy. 10,000 is something you do not want to take from a regular team. And the Marines themselves, they don't really have too much health. 25 to 30,000 is the approximate range of their health. So they should be very, very easy to take down. Just make sure you take down the right ones with the right cooldown successfully to get the perfect amount of stalls in to get your specials ready towards the final bosses of this raid boss. Once Strawberry is defeated, you'll come across Onigumo. So Onigumo here has health of 592,000 and an attack power of 3,336, and he will attack you every single turn on a 1-turn cooldown. He does also have a preemptive attack that will apply a brand new debuff that will lower the combo chain to not surpass 2 times. This makes Rayleigh teams pretty much redundant in this whole raid boss, sorry. With that combo chain debuff, it means that Rayleigh's captain effect pretty much won't work correctly. Because if you guys don't know Rayleigh, he will basically just, you know, multiply the combo chain by 4 times, and then with a double Rayleigh, it's a 16 times combo chain multiplier. And then if you're just making it so that it can't pass 2 times, then it kind of makes Rayleigh redundant, and Rayleigh teams are not going to be doing any damage whatsoever. So it means that Rayleigh teams are probably one of the worst that you could bring for this raid boss, as you know, that combo thing for 5 turns is going to be very, very difficult to try and break through. Now, moving on from that though, for every 2 turns, he'll lock 2 units for 2 turns. That is another thing that you kind of want to, you know, prepare for, is to have the right sockets on your team. You know, at least level 1 anti-bind resistance would be preferable, as, you know, you get sort of 1 turn to attack and then he'll lock you again. But if you have level 2 anti-bind, then this room is fine. However, if Onigumo falls below 20% health, he'll lock 3 units for 2 turns. So then, again, you know, if you have the anti-bind resistance socket, it kind of becomes, you know, kind of a breeze. You don't really need to worry about anything. And the Marines themselves have, again, approximately 25 to 30,000 health that surround him, so those guys are pretty easy to take down. So within Stage 7, you will encounter Dalmatian. Now, Dalmatian here has only 360,000 health. However, his attack power is 9,800, and he'll attack you every 3 turns. Now, he does a preemptive attack that will basically put up a debuff protector that will only protect himself against delayers. So you can use like poison or defense reduction or anything like that. The only thing that his debuff protector will actually protect from is being delayed from. So that is sort of a new feature that they're adding, where people can have a debuff protector, but only for a specific status infliction. So that is kind of cool, that you can still activate different effects on him, but you just cannot delay him. So that's the only thing that he actually does, and once he falls below 20% health, he'll do 30,000 damage to you. Definitely with the same as the other units, you don't want to make him fall below 20%. And get a chance to attack you, because he'll then do a hell of a lot of damage to you. So you have to be very, very careful when you're trying to take down Dalmatian, making him sure that you're not falling below 20%. Now, moving on to the final stage of this brand new raid boss, we have Stage 8, Momonga. Now, this guy here has 790,000 health, an attack power of 7,032 with a 2-turn cooldown, and his preemptive attack will apply a defensive shield where for 3 turns he'll take 50% damage. That makes this dungeon, or this stage in particular, very, very difficult, as, you know, for 3 turns, anything that you do is going to be halved to him. So it's going to be very, very difficult to try and take him out in those first 3 turns. And then after the first attack, he'll summon 2 Marines. So not only will he, you know, take less damage in that first turn, after that first attack, he will summon 2 more Marines. So there'll be 5 Marines in total, or just surrounding him. So that is going to make a hell of a lot of pressure appear on your team. So you have to make sure that you have the right units to try and take him down. And then when all Marines are defeated, he'll actually summon more Marines. So you have to be very, very, very efficient with your specials and your damage, and, you know, which units are hitting who, and making sure that you're taking out Momonga probably first. He'd be the #1 unit that I'd be trying to target down first. You can bring delayers. He doesn't apply a debuff protector or anything like that. So, you know, delayers are pretty useful in this situation, as when he summons those Marines, they can do a lot of damage to you. So you have to be very, very careful about that. And when his HP falls below 20%, he'll do 9,200 damage to you, and then he'll apply a defensive shield where for 1 turn, he takes no damage whatsoever. So again, with the current theme that's trending in this video, is make sure you don't make these guys fall below 20% health, otherwise you're going to get screwed over. So you have to be very, very vigilant and focused when you're playing through this raid boss dungeon. So now let's go ahead and break down which teams you should bring in order to beat the Buster Call Raid Boss Dungeon. So the first team I'm going to recommend is a Whitebeard team. Now, you might be thinking, why have you got the Sunny instead of, you know, like the Whitebeard ship in particular? That is, the reason why you're bringing the Sunny is because the Sunny is very, very efficient in this raid boss in particular, because the Sunny special can help take out a whole room of Marines, which makes clearing the boss stage a hell of a lot easier, you know, especially the Momonga stage, because you can just activate the Sunny special and then activate your Whitebeard specials, and then you can basically activate Kiji as well and have Doflamingo, and you can clear the whole dungeon very, very easily. But the best thing to do is to kind of spread out your specials along the whole dungeon, so using some specials in some specific rooms and then saving them for other rooms and stuff like that. So you have to be very efficient with your turns and your stalling and which turns you're going to activate your specials. But this team in particular is very good because you also have the delaying with Golden Pound Usopp as well. And as I mentioned before, you know, Whitebeard specials are very, very good. You got Doflamingo for more damage, you've got Aokiji for more damage. Overall, this team works very, very well. The only thing is you have to be under 30% health in order to get your damage boost. But luckily enough, these Marines, there's so many of them that you can choose to kill some of them and then let some of them hit you. And you can kind of, you know, manage your health along the way across this whole raid boss dungeon. Now, the next team I'm going to recommend to you guys is a Double Sengoku squad lead. So this guy in particular is very, very good. You know, just so much damage output with him. You know, he's kind of like Whitebeard, but you don't have to be under 30% health. The only condition is that you have to have units under 20 cost. So, you know, the units under 20 cost are usually easily socketable and usually very, very good. And in this case, they are very good against this raid boss because you've got Eneru for more attack multipliers. You've got Nico Robin for more attack multipliers, Golden Pound Usopp for delaying, and you also have Don Krieg, who is really, really good against the very good stage because of those Marines that surround him that have only like 5 HP. What you can do is you can activate Don Krieg with all the stalling that you do on the previous stages, and with Don Krieg, he'll actually auto-kill the 5 HP Marines with his poison, which makes clearing that stage a hell of a lot easier, and you know, you can just use the Double Sengokus and all of that to take down very, very good, very, very easy. So this squad, very, very good. Also, you've got the 1000 Sunny because of the Marines, and having the Sunny do 50,000 damage to all of those Marines will auto-kill them, makes clearing the boss stages very, very easy. But overall, this team works very, very well. But now let's move on to a free-to-play team, which does include all of the slashers, the free-to-play slasher team. So this team utilizes both Mihawks, either a Legend and a Raid Mihawk, as the captains, and the reason why you have like the mixture is because you have the damage output from the Int Mihawk, but then you also have that wicked special from the Dex Mihawk, and then you've also got Doflamingo for more damage output, you've got Mr. 1 for more damage output, you've also got Crocodile for that orb manipulation if you do need it, and you've also got Golden Pound Usopp again for delay. You know, Golden Pound Usopp being so reliable in a lot of raid bosses and other just dungeons in general. Golden Pound Usopp is very, very reliable. And this team works very well. Obviously, having the coffin boat is kind of a thing as well, because having that extra HP actually does matter. It allows you just to survive so many hits that you actually wouldn't using the 1000 Sunny. You know, the 1000 Sunny does have its benefits in this dungeon in particular. However, with the free-to-play slasher team, you kind of do need that extra health. So definitely using the coffin boat is the way to go for this slasher team. So that is going to conclude yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and if you guys have enjoyed it, make sure to smack the like button down below, and if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, then make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.